This is the bus, a rare beast on the island of Oahu, but the only way to get from Honolulu to the North Shore, unless you rent a car or take a $70 Uber. When I got off the bus, I thought I had the wrong address. I asked at the nearby gas station and the cashier said she's never heard of the hostel, but I managed to find it eventually. Look at that beauty. I think there's a pillbox up there. New word for me. Apparently quite popular in American English. And this over there is private property. Eat some hens, chicken, and a cock. Oh, the cock kind of ran away. The next morning, I decided to hike to the pillbox and watch the ocean from above. The hike I did the day before was basically a 20-minute walk, so I expected this to be a piece of cake as well. Took some pictures and videos of the first pillbox, and I was told that there was a second one nearby which was meant to have a nicer view. So after a couple of minutes I continued the hike. Absolutely brilliant. Now do we go left or right? I have no idea what that word even means. When I go here. Oh wait. After coping with some ambiguity and walking through some things that look like paths, but they also look like, I don't know, places where people would come with motorbikes or just mountain bikes and ride down the hill. Finally found this little fella and something that legit looks like a proper path. So hopefully we'll get to this bunker soon. It was meant to be like 10 minutes further from the one before. Well, we'll see how far it actually is. So far it's been probably 20 minutes. Crazy, I know. So guys, after this epic journey and hike, finally found the bunker. And guess what? It's the same one I was at 30 minutes ago. Now some people said that if I go down this way, which is originally the direction I went in, this is where the second one is supposed to be. So, here we go again. Mission accomplished, folks. We did it. Since it took me ages to get there, I probably spent about an hour admiring the view, writing in my diary, and taking pictures of the people who'd come and go. And yeah, I also practiced taking selfies. I was kind of writing my journal at the top of the... Well, not the top, but you know, the second bunker, the one with better view. I had a couple of locals who invited me to some art show at 4 o'clock. And also, we're walking barefoot. So I took inspiration from them. Said it felt like therapeutic. Now we'll see if this ends up being one of those insanely stupid decisions that you take when you're solo traveling and you're just like wondering how to spice things up. Well, everything was fine in the end. So after lunch, I went to find the art show. I was pleasantly surprised that there was live music. This band is called The Alive, and I recommend checking them out if you like metal. They're just finishing high school, and I was impressed by how professional they sounded. Later, there was another trio playing. Ron Artist II and The Truth. They were pure class. If you prefer softer, more chill music, definitely check them out. It was genuinely nice to see the local community. Some people fly to Hawaii and go to a luau, which is an evening party where you have traditional food, entertainers dance the hula, and so on. And I'm sure this is a great experience. But in a way, this art show was a more authentic luau. A few neighbors gathering and fundraising to get a music teacher for the local primary school. Someone opened their farm and built a stage. A sound engineer brought all the speakers and equipment. Keo, the guy who I met at the pillbox, had painted all these amazing pictures of the ocean. It just felt like the real deal. The following day, I went to the nearby beach called Sunset Beach. If Honolulu was less crowded than I expected, this was basically empty. I've gotta say a couple of words though about the place I was staying at. The host Bernie was simply the kindest. He used to be a judge for surf competitions and we watched the surf channel every evening. He would drive me to the supermarket, let me borrow his surfboard, his bike, and most importantly, the ukulele. Also, he had built an amazing shower with a view. There were other solo travelers too. I mostly hung out with Caroline, Amanda and Tim. Cheers! Caroline came from Switzerland and I guess her French name was too difficult, so she was also known as Caroline. Amanda was Australian. She knew a lot about surfing and shared useful tips with me as a complete beginner. And Tim had spent the last 300 days at sea, so this was his time off.
Colin's cooking like a flash. So we'll rinse that.
On the first day, Tim and Amanda cooked dinner for everyone, and I believe this is what brought us all together. Amanda started calling us the hostel family, which sounds about right to me.
We're in Hawaii, and I mean, how awesome is this?
I know.
It's awesome.
Good people, good food.
I had the bread come out, but we tried, you know. Hey.
Here we are watching the sunset. Everyone doing their vlogging bit. And it's awesome. Of course, I couldn't resist playing Riptide on that beach. The North Shore of Oahu is known as the surfing capital of the world. Apparently, surfing used to be a religious ritual, practiced by the Hawaiian natives before the Europeans came and turned it into a sport. I wanted to give it a try and Bernie recommended that I go to the nearby town of Haleiwa. This is where they do the international surf competitions, but there's also a safer bay suitable for beginners. I rented a board and did some paddling. I had watched a couple of YouTube videos about how to stand and catch a wave, and thought that I would just observe the others and do the same. But it didn't work at all. I was exhausted in a couple of hours of paddling and carrying the surf around. However, I saw some sea turtles emerging from the water. See if you can spot this one as it gets pushed by the waves near the surface. On the way back, I walked around Haleiwa and looked at the beautiful souvenir shops. I then had lunch at this nice family-owned sandwich shop. day, I was determined to catch at least one wave. This time, I took a proper 2-hour lesson and actually managed to catch a few. And it felt like a more extreme water park ride, but way cooler, as the ocean is the water slide. I was completely knackered afterwards, so I just spent the afternoon relaxing and calling my family. And since I had already become a successful surfer, I decided to do more hiking the next morning instead. Classic Victor missed the stop for the crouching lion hike that I'm about to do. Pretty wild looking trail. Well, this is the good stuff. Looking pretty vertical. Not really too steep, to be honest. And the rocks are actually convenient. I definitely jinxed it here, because right after taking this video, it became too steep. This was where I had the biggest adrenaline rush throughout the whole journey, as I knew I couldn't make it on the way down, given my skill, but I also wasn't sure if further up it would become impossible to climb. It's the only time I felt completely alone on the island, but I think this helped me stay focused and I just kept going. I'm very hopeful there's an alternative way back, because that was steep. Like the part with the rope is probably okay. But after that, had to climb through dirt and stuff. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. Not surprising they shot Jurassic Park on this island. It became way easier after this. And I hadn't told my friends back home that I was going to Hawaii. So I made a couple of calls to surprise them and show them around. Can't really tell where the main part starts, somewhere up in the air. Clearly this is the way I should have went, and then turn this way, where where the easier path was. Instead, 10 meters from this point there is a sign over here, which I follow. And these signs, I know they say, keep out or whatever, but they're out of date. Next, I went to this botanical garden. My battery was pretty low at this point, so I took some pictures of the plants, and they had so many species you can never find in Europe. I also liked how the nearby mountain was shrouded in a fog. So I had surfed on the North Shore, but didn't have any pics to prove it, or any photos that showcased the perfect summer body I had been working on. Not on my watch. I convinced Caroline to take some pictures of me, basically posing with a surfboard for the gram. It was finally our turn to make dinner for the hostel family. My flight was on the following day, so we all said goodbye and invited each other to our countries.
Never seen a green potato.
Yeah, white.
But before I left for the airport, I had one last thing to do. Hi guys, today I'm in Honolulu, Hawaii, and I want to talk to you about passive income. What it is, how do you achieve it? Poor people would work for money, whereas rich people make their money work for them. Today, until the end of this month, I'll have my special course on a special discount. If you use the promo code Victor in Hawaii, you can get a discount, and it will go all the way down to $74 a month. It will take you step by step on how to go from poor, working for money, to rich, having this passive income and being able to enjoy life. This is it, guys. As before, I created all the music you heard throughout the video, so let me know in the comments which piece you enjoyed the most and what you thought about the North Shore. At some point in the future, I'll make another video about the few hours I spent in LA on my way back to London. But until then, hang loose.